So having a sharp jawline is super important for a man. It really does carry you quite a lot in terms of looking good. It is a quintessential part of being Chad. With that being said, there's a lot of like filler content on YouTube about how to get a sharper jawline. Things that are either just blatantly obvious, like losing weight, which I think anyone can figure out, or simply people just making up bullshit. Like I've literally seen a video where some Indian guy was like, and he was claiming this would give you a sharper jawline. There's so much bad information out there, so I'm going to give you 5 things you can do to get a sharper jawline that isn't just obvious things. Okay, so number 5 is fat dissolvers. Now, this is something that girls have put me onto. I've dated girls that have told me that they've reduced the fat around their neck. They said they got a fat dissolver. Yeah, I looked into it after that, and yeah, this is really effective. I have seen quite a lot of before and afters of people reducing the amount of fat cells in their neck area, which in turn gives them a sharper outline to their jaw. And especially from a side profile, this makes quite a big difference. The thing is though, a lot of people have like an incorrect idea about what fat is in your body. You see, fat cells are basically permanent cells. Like if you gain like a significant amount of weight, you gain new fat cells and your current fat cells increase in size. That being said, if you lose weight, those new fat cells don't disappear. Once you gain fat cells, they kind of stay forever, which is kind of scary, but it actually makes removing your fat cells more valuable if you want to look leaner. Because in terms of like a fat dissolver, like if you take away fat cells from like your neck and underneath your chin, this area, you know, you're going to look leaner permanently. Like you're gonna have like a sharper jawline for the rest of your life because those fat cells are taken out. Have you ever seen like a girl with a BBL? Whether she gains weight or loses weight, the amount of like fat in her buttocks and legs is going to be relatively higher for the rest of her life, regardless of what happens to her body composition after. That should like give you like a good demonstration of just how permanent fat cells are. So if you take them out or remove them, it's kind of like a permanent alteration to your body. So yeah, fat dissolvers are pretty damn efficacious. Okay, so number 4 is salt. Now, salt is like, well, sodium, right? It's common in a lot of foods, especially in like Chinese food, like Asian food. There's just a ton of it, right? Like, I eat sushi, I look so bloated after the fact. What happens with salt is you eat salt and your body stores more water weight, in particular underneath your skin. If you've ever eaten like a pizza, like you will notice you just look way softer in the face and just softer in the body. And that is just water weight. You're storing more water than you otherwise would. And I know water weight is the biggest amount of cope from like people that are just overweight, but like even if you're lean, you can still notice a difference when you put on water weight. With that being said, this is like a very like temporary thing. I would say if you're going to like go on a date or get like some particular photo shoot or whatever, then maybe you should hold back on the salty food. You know, when you're trying to like put your best foot forward, right? You know, you don't have to like abstain from eating salt. I would just say, you know, it's probably wise to be selective with when you eat a salty meal. If you're going on a date with some hot girl and you're a bit anxious if she's out of your league, yeah, maybe not eat sushi beforehand. That might be a good idea. Okay, number 3 is neck training. So I've spoken about neck training. The main concept behind this is you expand the muscle in your neck, and this in turn stretches out and tightens your skin and stretches out your fat cells that are around your neck, underneath your chin, and even on your lower third. It kind of tightens it up and displaces it over a larger area. It's kind of like a natural way to do a facelift. I don't know, that sounds kind of like strange, but like the physics of it works out the same. Like a facelift or neck lift kind of has like a similar effect to growing a bigger neck. The only thing is, right, growing a bigger neck has like the added benefit of being more masculine dimorphic. So like if you're a man, there's an extra premium on having like a wider neck, aside from having like a sharper lower third to your face. If you guys want to see exactly what I did to grow my neck, I think you can see there's quite a big difference in the sharpness to my lower third to my face. I spoke about what I did exactly for my neck training program, which you can see if you become a channel member by clicking the join button, or you can click the link down below to join my Patreon to see the video. Next is neck lift itself. Now, I feel like once you get to like a certain age, or like if you have a lack of collagen or elastin in your skin just due to natural aging, you're going to have an issue with loose skin around your face and neck. There's a lot of people that are like more on the mature side that get like a neck lift, and it just looks fantastic. I don't think there's too many complications with this. Again, like whenever you're doing anything like kind of serious to your body, there's always like risks, complications, whatever. All of this is something you're gonna have to search up yourself. But this leads me on to the final way to get a sharper jawline, and that is to get invasive cosmetic surgery, as in you're literally changing the structure of your face. I want to like talk about one thing, which is jaw implants. Now, I've seen some pretty damn good results from some jaw implants and some not so good. It's kind of a mixed bag. I feel like jaw implants can be quite good if you're already lean. Otherwise, you kind of just get like a wide pumpkin face. Also, you kind of need to factor in your neck is going to look relatively smaller, so I would say you probably ought to combine this with neck training, which is going to give you a sharper jawline in itself. But like on top of that, yeah, that's also very important. There's also like the more advanced ways to like augment someone's like jaw and facial structure, which is like quite extreme, like Leafort by maxillary. Like there's a lot of like very complicated cosmetic surgeries that are very invasive and like very extreme. And again, this is something that has a lot of margin for success. Like you can see some people that have like a very like short face, and then they really like ascend so hard. But all of this being said, there's a lot of margin for error. There's a way higher margin for complications, things going wrong, or just bad aesthetic results. Like someone can get botched way easier, and it also costs a lot. This is something which I don't feel that comfortable talking about as any kind of like presumed authority, and none of this is like medical or you know, surgery advice anyway. I'm just saying like what I've seen. I don't really want to speak with too much authority on this because frankly it's a bit too complicated for me to explain in a short little video like this. It's something that you really ought to like look into yourself and consult with, you know, a medical professional. It's not something to be cavalier about. There's a huge margin for good results and a huge margin for bad results. I would say the more low-hanging fruit is some of the other things I've spoken about in this video. If you enjoyed this video, you really ought to subscribe to this channel. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.